the Mi 11 Ultra. Okay. Now this is a device with a 6.81-inch AMOLED display, 120 Hz refresh rate, of course, but the key thing here, which I've not seen on any of the smartphone, is 1700 nits of brightness. So the S21 Ultra has a peak brightness of 1500 nits. The OnePlus 9 Pro, for instance, has a peak brightness of 1300 nits. 1700 nits. That is bright, right? Especially for somebody like me who wears sunglasses. So I'll be able to view this in comfort, even on a sunny day when I've got my sunglasses on. Now, that's not the only display on this device, because there's also a rear 1.1-inch AMOLED display. So it's like a small display on this massive camera module. Like, this camera module takes up the whole top of the back of the Mi 11 Ultra. Now, this is for things like notifications, reminders, and also as a viewfinder for selfies if you want to use the rear-facing camera for selfies, which is, again, quite interesting. It's got a 50 megapixel main camera, f1.12, which is very wide, 48 megapixel ultra wide camera, 48 megapixel telephoto camera with 10 times optical zoom and 120 times digital zoom. So obviously they're trying to get a one up on Samsung with the 100x zoom. So they're like, we're going to give you 120 times. I'm personally very much not interested in that feature, because 100x, as we've seen, yeah, it's fine if you want to see a sign in the distance. Is it something that you're going to use all the time? Definitely not. Okay. And then we've got a 20 megapixel selfie camera. We've got a pretty big 5000 milliamp hour battery, 67 watt wired charging, but also 67 watt wireless charging. So I believe this is the first smartphone in the world to support 67 watt wireless charging as well, which is crazy. Okay. And obviously we've got the Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 with 12 gigabytes of RAM. No information on pricing, but April is when we'll be seeing it, and obviously we'll hopefully be getting our hands on it quite soon. So, okay, so first thing, okay, the display looks interesting. I'm not sure about this huge camera module. I kind of joked on Twitter saying, do you want a phone with your camera, sort of thing, because it's just like, it's taking up so much of real estate, and it's a big camera bump. I do like the idea of having a secondary display at the back. I quite like that. I'm like, okay, I see some potential there. If I want to take a selfie, but I want to, really get the best quality possible, then I can use the rear display, even though it's small, but it's fine for selfies. It seems interesting, and knowing Xiaomi, they'll probably come in with some competitive pricing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be about 1,100 for that device. Which, if you think about everything it has, it's actually competitive in a sense. They might even just push it down. They can also do introductory pricing where it becomes like $9.99 or something to start. So I think it'll be competitive. What I find interesting though is, so here's the thing: is I always battle with the age-old digital processing versus optics, and I think Xiaomi is going for brute force. Because I'm not sure how, even though their software has been really good over the years, especially for their Mi devices, I would say the Mi line photos have been really good in terms of software. But I think, honestly, as much as people like Google and even Apple do a lot of software tricks, in my mind, there's only so much you can do that physics plays a role. Bigger sensor, more light, those kind of things give you just a better raw image. Software tricks then do the rest for you. That's how I always say it, which is why with the Pixel 5 last year, I was like, it's cool. It didn't do much for me. It didn't further the argument of what Google was doing, because their sensor was also like 4 years old in a sense. So I think there's stuff there. The rare OLED display it's a solid one. I mean, that's one that Board Femme would love, because she likes to take selfies, and she can take selfie with a better camera. That's golden. I don't know how many people will use it in that respect. I think people like us will use it a lot, because now we're like, okay, we can take with a better camera, which is fantastic if you're going to take any shot.
As well.
Yeah, exactly. So so I think it's something that it's nice to see that they're putting those things in there, but I think overall the announcements I got from Xiaomi till this point in this year, because they've released a bunch of devices from January till now, is
Yeah.
is literally, to me, just says that Xiaomi is like, okay, look, we are going to show you everything we have, and you've got options to pick from.
I hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to hear the full podcast episode, then that will be linked down below. And if you want to see more clips like this, then be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss them. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf Speaks, and I'll see you next time.